Hey friends, what's up? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're doing well. So, you got a dilemma.
Right.
It's starting to heat up outside, heating up quite a bit, and you want some fresh fragrances, some new fresh scents to wear. But you don't want to open up the pocketbook and spend too much money. Well, I got 10 fragrances for you that you may want to check out. Some of these are more well-known, some of these are less well-known, so there's a little bit of something for everybody here. And if you shop at discounters, pretty much all these fragrances under 50 bucks. And some of them way less than 50 bucks. We're gonna get started right away with a fragrance that I have not been able to talk about for a while. It's a fragrance that used to be discontinued and still is discontinued too. This one came out in 2019, a limited edition for summer, and it hasn't been available for a while now. It just popped up at discounters again. So if you're watching this, far in the future, who knows, maybe it's not available anymore. But do keep your eyes open for it, even if it shows sold out some places, because a lot of times when something pops up and then sells out, it'll pop back up again, one or two more times before it's gone forever. So knock on wood, hopefully people have a chance to pick this up if they're interested, but it's Light Blue Sun. Kind of exciting that we're getting another light blue this year, since last year we didn't get one, but in 2019, the light blue of the year was Sun, which came out after Italian Zest, which was one that people didn't love in a huge way, myself included. But in general, people did like Sun more than Italian Zest. So in terms of notes, this one has grapefruit and bergamot along with ginger, kind of an ozonic opening as well. It has coconut in there, cedar, white musk, and vetiver, among other notes. So it was one of the earlier fragrances to work coconut in there, because at the time that this came out, that wasn't a note that got used as often. But nowadays, it's a little bit more common. So this one opens up very fresh, zingy, and airy. And if you're familiar with Light Blue Pour Homme, Light Blue Eau Intense, this one has that same DNA in it, just like with an additional kind of like solar accord, very lightly sunscreeny. Longevity for a fresh fragrance, actually pretty good. Projection, a little more moderate, but it's a scent that in general, really safe. People like it. It's a compliment puller, and it's pretty hard to find. So if you're able to scoop this one up at discounters for 40, 45 bucks, you're gonna have something that not many people nowadays are wearing, that smells good, that is really easy to wear through spring, summer, early fall. Up next, one from Fragrance World, it is Varrock Silver. So obviously this being a Fragrance World, it is a clone or a dupe fragrance, and it smells quite similar to Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Gentle Fluidity Silver. I know, what a surprise. So in terms of the notes, really simple. There's juniper, coriander, nutmeg, amber, vanilla, musk. That's pretty much it. It's very aromatic, fresh, green, classy, and frankly, for the price point, smells amazing. This is one of those ones that they absolutely nailed. One of those clone fragrances where you smell it and you're just like, oh, I don't even know how. I had the cap on wrong. It's supposed to be all blinged out facing forward. Not that it matters, it's just a little OCD. The quality on this, really, really high. This is actually one of the better Fragrance World clones that they've put out. And it is so good that I might try to pick up another bottle of this just to give away on a future video, because I think a lot of you out there would really love having this through spring, summer. So I'm gonna try to do that. I'll do a giveaway in this video as well, but it's something that I have right here that I'm gonna show you in a second. After that, Chrome Azure from Azzaro, which looks suspiciously almost exactly like the original Chrome, but no, you're gonna have to take my word for it. That is the new Chrome Azure, or Azure. So this one came out in 2024, but you can already find it at discounters for between 30 and 40 bucks, depending on where you're looking. It does have a derpy note breakdown, 3 notes, and they're not particularly exciting notes. Aquatic notes, lavender, and bergamot. That is about as basic of a men's fragrance note breakdown as you can possibly get. And it does smell similar to the original Azzaro Chrome. And I know that makes sense, but there are some Chrome flankers, depending on which one we're talking about, that are quite different from the original, but this one kind of falls in lockstep with the OG, only it's not as metallic. The original Chrome can come across smelling kind of like a cheap metallic vibe to a lot of people. Now, I'm not putting down Chrome. It's a really popular fragrance, and a lot of people absolutely love it. I'm just saying that's how some people interpret that. So this doesn't have as much of that metallic vibe going on. It's a little bit soapy, Clean, lightly sweet, has a nice smoothness to it. Very much kind of grab and go fragrance. It'd be a good gym fragrance, sport fragrance, fresh out of the shower fragrance, you know, stuff like that. Performance a little bit moderate, but doesn't matter too much because it is quite inexpensive and it's the type of scent that you can load down. So you can spray really heavily if you want to. Nobody's gonna be offended. And for having a brand new fragrance or almost brand new fragrance for a really cheap price, that would make it attractive to a lot of people who do want something a little bit more modern. Okay, next up, another newer one. This is Michael Kors' newest release, at least as of this video, Michael Kors Pour Homme. It's got this kind of chain link bottle design going on, and this launched their new line, their new Pour Homme line, which I am assuming we will probably be getting a flanker of this one this year, I would guess. You remember what I said about this note breakdown being a little bit basic? Well, Michael Kors Pour Homme also, note breakdown wise, a little basic, but it has more than 3 notes, so it wins over Chrome Azure, at least in the note breakdown department. So those notes include lavender, pink pepper, bergamot, C notes, geranium, sage, patchouli, vetiver, and a little bit of ambergris, which is also known as ambroxan when it comes to this fragrance. But ambergris sounds nicer. That's what they said when they were drawing up that note breakdown. So this one is not hyper unique. It does have kind of an Invictus Platinum, even to a lesser extent Bad Boy Cobalt kind of vibe going on, but it's not the exact same as any of those. And it's, you know, similar in differing amounts to each one, right? So it may be a little bit more similar to Invictus Platinum to some people. Other people might say, no, it smells more similar to just straight up Invictus. It is a very nicely fresh scent though, with a decent amount of sweetness in there, but more of like an aromatic sort of sweetness. So like aromatics that have been a hit with like sugar syrup. It's got kind of that thing going on. But at the end of the day, really easy to wear, very versatile. People do enjoy it, and you can pick it up in a tester form, which it did look like the tester comes with the cap, so that's a nice bonus, assuming that the picture is not a lie. But you know, sometimes you can't trust those pictures, you know. They'll be like, oh, it's a tester, and they'll show you a bottle like this, and when it arrives, oh, disgusting. Makes me want to puke. Oh, much better. But yeah, as you can see right here, tester, 3.38 ounces, has the cap, $44.99. That being said, same website, tester, no cap, $59.99. I would buy this one. I'd buy that one. I don't know what they're doing over there on JOMASHOP. I don't know, but $44.99. You can scoop this one up, and at that price, really solid. It's very versatile, super pleasant, and younger guys can wear that as well as older guys. And I would be remiss if I did not once again plug these friggin' codes. Ta-da! You can use those JOMASHOP codes to save yourself a little money should you decide to shop at JOMASHOP. I don't know, for a $45 tester, for example, that they also have listed for $15 more than that for the same thing, which you would never buy ever. But yeah, you can use those codes to save yourself some money, but they only work within the JOMASHOP app and they change every quarter. All the other codes you see, you can use whenever you want on those wonderful websites, such as Max Aroma, where the aroma is always maxed. Next fragrance, let's go this one. This is from Armaf, and this is called Dubai Nights Midnight. It's kind of a slick looking bottle. I don't mind it too much. You know, it's a little bit low key compared to a lot of other Armaf releases. And of course, they got to hit you with the glued on a little pendant on the front there. Very Club de Nuit Intense Man style, only without the crystal. So Dubai Nights Midnight. What do you think this would be? Just hearing that name. Well, that doesn't give you enough to go on. Let me give you some notes. It's got lavender, bergamot, orange blossom, geranium, patchouli, and woods. Well, that is a twist on YSL's Myself. That being said, it is not quite as orange blossom forward as Myself is. So be aware of that. It doesn't have as much of that like smooth white floral feel to it as it dries down. You can definitely tell the inspiration from Myself here. That is pretty obvious. So it is a good alternative to that fragrance, but it's just not trying to be like an exact replica, not a one-to-one. Also has a little bit more of a woody aspect to the fragrance as well as it dries down in comparison to Myself. And a little bit more performance compared to Myself Eau de Parfum as well, which is, you know, where those changes come into play. Let me show you guys the fragrance I'm going to be giving away, which is not a fragrance that I'm featuring, but I had placed an order for this one and Gentleman Society Ombre at the same time. And I'm giving away the Ombre in a different video, but I'm giving away this one here. And this is just regular old gentleman's society. But I figure that this is a good scent for springtime, and realistically, you could wear it kind of whenever you want. Obviously still sealed and everything, so this will go to one of you guys, but for now, let's move to the next fragrance, which will be, ooh, yeah, let's do this one. Jope Homme Neon. Now, I do kind of like the bottle design here. It's got like this blue tinted glass, which when the light hits it, gives it a cool hue, and then it's got that cough syrupy pink Jope right in there. Now, this is one that I just chucked into my cart. I placed a big old order on JOMASHOP, and I think I bought like 15 fragrances at once, and I saw this there as a tester, and I was like, well, might as well. So it's got honey, tonka, and orange blossom. Real simple note breakdown, not a lot going on. And it is strong, it is real strong. So be aware of that. It's sweet and strong, so if you spray this on real heavy, middle summer, really hot outside, you're gonna be around a lot of people, sweating or something like that, rethink, reevaluate, because that's gonna be an unhappy time for you and everyone around you. Don't do it. Don't be that guy. I don't care what TikTok told you. I don't care that somebody on there who says that every Louis Vuitton is the greatest fragrance ever made and that you should buy every Louis Vuitton at full retail. Don't listen to that guy when he tells you to wear a really strong fragrance with 35 plus sprays. Don't do it, okay? I'm telling you, it's a bad idea. Or, if you want, go ahead and do it, and then when you learn it's a bad idea, just learn from that. Don't do it again. So anyway, back to this Jope Homme Neon Edition. It's similar to the original Jope, it sure is, but it's not as bad, thankfully. It's still got that kind of syrupy sweetness, but here it is smoother. It has a nice like honeyed edge to it. Obviously I just said honey is one of the notes, but it's got that kind of, that little touch to it where it smells more pleasant and less headache inducing Robitussin. During spring, this would work really well. That transitional time, really well. During the evening, it could work very well. You know, if you like original Santal, Mont Blanc Individuel, fragrances like that, this is a much more wearable Jope that already smells similar to those two fragrances. Take on that style. And I absolutely despise Jope. It makes me want to puke, okay? But this is actually much, much better in terms of how it's done while still kind of staying true to that overall style. Let's go cheapy Calvin Klein Defy Parfum. It's a little 50 mil right here. The Eau de Toilette, that one is pretty cheap as well. And you can wear that as like an easy spring, summertime fragrance also. Might not be anything that blows you away, talking about the Eau de Toilette again, but you know, for the price point, whatever, who cares? Now, when it comes to the Parfum version, which obviously is this version right here, it has cacao as one of the main notes. So kind of a chocolatey feel in there. Also pink pepper, lavender, really simple note breakdown once again. And it's a little reminiscent of Bad Boy. Carolina Herrera Bad Boy, the original. It has pink pepper and lavender. Those two notes together initially give it this nice kind of like fresh spiciness when you first spray it on. So it's not like it's really heavy right away. It's not like this type of scent that as soon as you spray it on, you're like, oh man, this is like a winter beast. It's got some nice fresh aspects to it. And then as it dries down, that cacao comes out more, sweetens it up a little bit more, adds a nice warmth to it as well. The entire Defy line, for the most part, gets overlooked. I mean, a lot of people just do not care about these scents. But if you're looking for something for when it's a little bit cooler in spring, kind of like I was talking about with Jope over here, you know, an evening fragrance for spring, summer. You don't want to spend too much, but you do want it to be very appealing, pretty versatile, easy to wear. This will do that for you. It actually smells pretty good. Up next is Veau Zingy from Emira, which is Paris Corner. I have to bring this up every time. I hate the bottle. I absolutely hate the bottle. It is fuzzy. I do not want it to be fuzzy. I do not like the fuzz. I hate the feeling. And it's like hand grenade shaped, and it makes me just want to just throw it through the wall. Get out of my hand. Ah. It essentially feels like you got something from a craft store, like really cheap velvet, like paper velvet, and you taped it on the outside of a bottle for some reason because you're insane. That's kind of how it feels, and I hate it so much. Clone fragrances, they're the only ones that do this. I'm gonna keep railing about it until they disappear. It's like a little baby. I'm a little piss baby. I don't like a bottle with this stuff on it. So the fragrance is Torino 21 from Xerjoff. That's what this smells similar to. Nice, fresh, green, minty. Nice pop to it. Really well done. Especially when you consider cheap. Of the Vaux fragrances that I've smelled from Paris Corner, this is my favorite one. But to be fair, Torino 21 is one of my favorite Xerjops, so kind of goes hand in hand. As long as you don't mind a little minty, and by a little minty, I mean a lot minty, citrus bomb, this is absolutely fantastic for spring and summertime. Let's go Polo 67 Eau de Toilette up next from Ralph Lauren. Ralphie Cakes coming out with this one, and it's pretty good. I like the Eau de Parfum a ton as well for just like a day-to-day, easy wear type of scent. You know, it's almost like the white t-shirt and blue jeans of fragrances. That's kind of what this is. Is it anything that's gonna be like, wow, that's insane? No. It's just that type of thing that is extremely easy to pull off and works in so many different situations. A little simple, but simplicity is not always a bad thing. Really pleasant opening, citrusy, a little pineapple-y in there, clean, aromatic, woody, great release. Because I do kind of hate where there's sometimes like this mentality of every single release has to be this earth-shattering, crazy, deep, rich, 24+ hour performance type of release. Like sometimes I want stuff like this where I just smell it and I go, that smells good. I'm gonna wear that all spring. Let's do the giveaway. Gentleman Society. It is a 100 ml bottle right here. Like I said, it's sealed. Look at that. It's even got a QR code. What's the badge code here, guys? 4J01. You know you want that, but that's a good badge code. That's probably the best badge code. Right? So if you want to be entered in the giveaway, usual stuff. All you have to do is like the video, be subscribed to the channel, leave me a comment down there in the comment section. And just tell me your go-to cheapie for spring and summer. I don't care what it is. It can be Bod. You know, Bod Man with the like, looks like Windex bottle. It could be that. I don't care. Whatever you like. Give me a couple weeks like usual. I will batch the winner together with a bunch of winners here recently from recent videos. That was a good way to say that. And then I'll put it up on the post tab of the YouTube channel. And if you're the winner, hit me up. I'll ship it out to you anywhere in the world. Last fragrance, Caprice from Lattafa. All Neshama Caprice technically is the name. That is similar to La Nuit de L'Homme Bleu Electrique, which, if it had not been unceremoniously removed from the US market to the point that you can't find it whatsoever, unless you go onto eBay and get ripped off, I would have Bleu Electrique in this video instead of that, but them's the breaks. So La Nuit de L'Homme Bleu Electrique / Caprice essentially smells like taking the La Nuit de L'Homme DNA, that really sexy cardamom vibe, but then making it a versatile scent that you could use year-round, daytime or nighttime. Instead of like the original La Nuit de L'Homme, which a lot of people will pigeonhole into being like, oh, this is only for dates or it's only for fall. So there it is, Lattafa Caprice doing the Lord's work, smelling similar to La Nuit de L'Homme Bleu Electrique, only on the cheap. P.S. YSL, please bring back Bleu Electrique. So there we are, guys. There are some scents right there that you can scoop up, that you can use for spring and summer, daytime or evening, depending on the fragrance. All of these quite affordable, and a bunch of them under the radar as well. Thank you so much, guys. Remember the giveaway, all that stuff. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourself. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.